Flourish Africa, as you all know, is an organization that has been set up for the benefit of women, for the women folk. Wherever it seems as if we've been left behind, for obvious reasons, we definitely need to catch up. And these are some of the ways to catch up with where society has kept us, where it has left us, where it has made us drift to. Unfortunate, but that's the world that we live in, despite the fact that women make up 49.6% of the world population. So we need to let the world know that it has been leaving behind an integral part of human beings. God created man and woman to live in the world and to help one another and to have lives that would be meaningful for the earth to be fruitful as He designed it. Now, it cannot be fruitful, it cannot multiply, it cannot flourish without the second gender. God created man first, but when He realized that man can't live, rule, and reign alone on the earth, He quickly decided to create the woman. Now, why would men then decide that they want to leave the woman behind and out of it? That's not the way God designed it. We're here to help. And in the helping, it'll make the world a better place to live in. We're assets, we're not liabilities. And because we are not liabilities, we have to work hand in hand with our men to make life better for our children and, of course, other generations to come. Which is why, where women are struggling, we have to hold each other's hands and pull each other up so that we can be where God really, truly does want us to be, so that we can live useful, purposeful, fruitful lives. So that's one of the main reasons for the existence of Flourish Africa. And the areas where we help each other are in the areas of our careers, our businesses, our wellness and health, our relationships, our love lives, our lifestyles, beauty and fashion, and even the climate. As we all know, the climate has a huge part to play in the world that we live in today. Some have denied it, but it's becoming more and more obvious. So all the things that women do, all the things that women experience, all the things that bind us are the things that Flourish Africa is concerned about and helping one another out. Oh, and I forgot the most important one, funding. Funding, we'll be talking more about funding here today, which brings us to why, after almost 5 years, Flourish Africa has decided to ensure that the funding that is so difficult for women to be able to access is now being made available through a grant that will last for the first 5 years in the amount of ₦1 billion, which each individual out of the 500 women that we pick out per year will be able to access to the tune of ₦2 million each. This is to help them in their businesses so that where they have been suffering in the areas of finance, trying to get funding from banks and other sources, where it has been very difficult for them to be able to source it and get it, where sometimes banks are almost asking to know what their grandfathers ate for dinner last night. I believe that that's a crucial area where they need help. And that's why that fund has been set up, and we'll be providing training for 500 women every year for the next 5 years. And 100 out of those women will have the opportunity to pitch their businesses to be able to access that funding, the grant, every year. And 200 million per year times 5 years is how the 1 billion has come up. So that will be the first tranche. God's sparing our lives, and for the fact that Flourish Africa is not limited to Nigeria, and because charity begins at home, that will be the first leg. And as we go through our learning processes, God will help us to reach out to other countries within Africa. And as God continues to direct and leads us and shows us the way we should go and gives us more wisdom and capacity, we'll do as He directs us. So right now, I'd like to thank each and every one of you again for coming. And later on, Eloho, who is the one that's in charge of this arm of Flourish Africa, will be talking to us in more detail about the funding. In the time being, I'd like to specially welcome our partner that will be doing this signing ceremony with today, who will be providing the training. I'd like to welcome you very much. Thank you so much for being with us. I'd also like to thank our supporters who will be providing their services by way of CSR, PwC, and Google. I'd like to welcome you especially to this event. Thank you for partnering with us in this program. God bless you. Thank you so much. You're all welcome. We appreciate you.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you for being here. So just before Elo Consulting comes on, I'll just quickly expatiate on the grants, on what we'll be doing. So what we plan to do is train 2,500 women over a course of 5 years. So every year, we'll be training 500 women. We plan to train these women virtually, but they will feel us physically too as well. So we've crafted special sessions to reach out to these women, train them for a period of 3 months, at the end of which they will all stand a chance to pitch for the grants, and we'll select the top 100. The goal is we want to see women who have multiplier effects. We are tired of seeing women run micro businesses, nano businesses. The stereotype is when you see a woman and we have more female entrepreneurs in Nigeria, but we have more micro entrepreneurs who are on the streets. But we want to see women who are going to lift women and people out of the streets and become billionaires too in the next future. So that's really the goal of Flourish Africa. So we're going to target, so that's why we're in our selection process, we are ensuring that we're getting the best and making sure that this kind of people are going to multiply this grant, because we've been giving to man to help him multiply the earth, and we're going to multiply this money. So that's the goal. Then, so over the course of time, we will be publicizing when we'll be doing the different things or the grants, but the 100 women will get the grants this year. So
a 3-month training program in the area of business and life skills. At the end of the training, we'll also be offering 1-year business planning advisory support. The aim of that is actually to ensure that these entrepreneurs are coached and mentored properly. We also hope that at the end of this online program, that the women will be well equipped to run businesses that are sustainable, profitable, and that will impact the society at large. Also, we hope that the success stories that will emanate from this program will also inspire other women to dare to live out their dreams. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So next, we have Mr. Kenneth Erikume from PwC. He's the partner and director. He'll be talking about why are we going to have, on what PwC will be doing to support us in this training. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a delight, and I'm really excited that for the first time in a long time, I'm a minority on a panel. Because for some reasons which the apostle already spoke about, there has been a general inclination or support for men as against women. In PwC, our purpose, we believe that we're not just in the environment to make profit. Our purpose is to build trust in society and solve important problems. But we also recognize that we cannot do it on our own. And of course, laudable projects like this, where this significant amount has been mobilized for the benefit of women, obviously we believe that we have to plug in and support it to the best of our ability. This motivation or this drive is what has made us to partner with Elo Consulting as well as Flourish to ensure that we provide support to women entrepreneurs to understand, how they set up their businesses, what sort of business structures they need to have, depending on the nature of the business, as well as understand their tax obligations, because one of the things we're also trying to drive from a Nigerian perspective is good corporate citizenship, and people living up to their expectations as citizens, and part of that is also contributing their fair share of tax. But on the other hand, we do not want them to be ignorant of their rights as well, or people taking advantage of them. So people saying, oh, you need to pay some money to get out your tax grant certificates and things like that. We want to ensure that the women understand not just their obligations, but their rights as well, so that they can then run a sustainable business. And I think this is one of the most important ways from PwC's perspective that we think we can partner with people with the right objectives, people with the right perspectives to drive this and make it happen. I'm sure my wife will be listening somewhere and will be really proud of me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Here, but I'm very proud to be in this room today because this initiative is laudable. Supporting entrepreneurs as a whole is at the heart of what we do at Google, especially women entrepreneurs, simply because the stats tell us that, right? So when you look at entrepreneurs across Africa, 58% of the total number of entrepreneurs across Africa are women. But as the law said, most of them are running micro businesses. Their businesses are small, they're less profitable than their male counterparts, they're experiencing a digital divide, so they don't have access to digital tools and digital solutions. Our goal at Google is really to help these entrepreneurs bridge this digital divide, help them to use digital to really turbocharge their businesses so that they can grow and they can thrive. Laura mentioned that we want to create more billionaires. We just want to create more women that are doing businesses that have that ripple effect. The stats also tell us that 90% of profits that women make from their businesses go back into the community, as against 30 to 40% by their male counterparts. So it's in the interest not only of the women, but of our communities, of our economies, for us to support women entrepreneurs, because we know that they will do what is right. And they will help the economy to grow as well. As part of this initiative, we're proud to support by providing digital skills training, free, as well as helping these entrepreneurs to get on to our product called Google My Business and providing them with a basic digital presence so that they can be found and their businesses can be exposed. We've seen so many success stories in Nigeria and beyond of women that are using our tools to succeed. One such example is Elsa Signatures, a woman in Festac Town who basically started her business as a passion. She basically makes perfumes. She just likes nice fragrance. An example of another micro entrepreneur. She just used to sell 3 to 4 bottles a week. I just make perfume. I send my children to school. I have 3 kids, all those kinds of things. And, after she attended one of our trainings, one of our digital skills trainings, she was able to put her business online. But beyond that, she was also able to even use our digital advertising products. And now she says she sells between 25 to 40 bottles a week. She's basically, I don't even know anyone that wants to do the math, to just do that math and really understand how she's basically been able to supercharge that business. So those are the kinds of examples that we want to create of women that are using digital solutions to really grow their businesses and to thrive. And we're really proud to be collaborating with Flourish Africa to be able to do this. Thank you.
in this. So next we have questions and answers from the press. Is there anywhere you're not clear on? Is there anything that you need clarity on? So we are here to take your questions. Okay. In front. Please, your name and your company.
Good morning. My name is Edidi. I'm from Punch Newspapers. You said something about having women that will have that multiplier effect. And not to trifle with the initiative here anyway, but I mean, if you ask me to come up with an idea and there's a budget, I can only allow my mind to run so wild. So when we look at the budget here, which is 2 million for every entrepreneur, I wonder if, we're really going to be able to achieve, this objective.
Thank you. Thank you. Not that I don't want to answer. Thank you very much for that question. So it's like saying, because why doesn't the central government just distribute all the money we need to do what we're going to do? to achieve our goals and purpose. What we are doing here is providing support in terms of capacity building and funding, seed funding for them to start their businesses or dreams. Their dreams have started and they have achieved their goals and businesses. There's this lady, Mrs. Mojope, she started her moi business with 1,000 or was it 3,000 naira? 1,000 naira, and now she's a multimillionaire. So we are not going to say, because you have this, we are providing these funds for you to support your business, that is all you're going to need. No, what we are doing, that's why we're going to take our time to really build. For us, we are training 500 women. We are giving 500 women the capacity to deliver. The most important thing is the vessel, is the person who is carrying these gifts, who is carrying this knowledge. Then the person will go and multiply. Even God, in his own wisdom, gave to some 10, to some 50, 30, 50, 100. Then based on your ability to multiply, he will increase you. We cannot do better than our Father, but we will try. Okay. Next question. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sulaiman Sapa. I write for the Guardian. First of all, let me appreciate Mrs. Alakija and everybody behind this project. It's a very laudable project. And may God Almighty continue to help you.
Amen.
Yes, I would like to know what are the criteria you'll be using in selecting the beneficiaries, because anytime we talk about money, we know how people need money for business in this country. Millions of them will turn up, and transparency is very important. So we'd like to know what are the criteria.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a good question. So for selecting the 100 winners, there are things that we've set some criteria, which is, first of all, the businesses must be registered with CAC. So they must show their proof of registration. We want to see that everybody is on the books, everybody is conducting their business well and squarely. 1 minute, please. The next thing is that they must have, the entrepreneurs who we've recruited for training must have completed all their training modules and received their course certificates for the business and life skills training. We want to see that they must have done that. They must also have a completed business plan. They will be taught on how to write and create competitive business plans. And the goal of them even writing this business plan is not just for the purpose of the grant. Women, there are so many opportunities out there for funding. Women do have, black women especially, do have opportunities for funding. So it's also a matter of how do they package themselves? How do they present themselves? Do they know how to write their books to present to the right people, to get funding, even from banks and other people? So we'll be teaching them that very important skill. So they must also submit that business plan. Then they must have, they will also submit a video pitch. We know how things are happening now digitally, so they are going to pitch for it, and it's going to be competitive. So they have to be able to tell us why they need the funds. They have to be able to convince our seasoned panel of judges as to what they are going to do with it and how they're going to execute it. So I think our criteria is not that much, but we will require them to meet everything and prove beyond reasonable doubt as to why we should invest or give them the grant. Believe in their dreams. So we want them to believe in themselves and be able to come out there, stand in the public and say, this is what I stand for. Because at the end of the day, every woman is really going to be a winner. We're looking at the 500 people that even if 400 of you don't get grants from us, we know that if you go to a bank and present your proposal, you will get funding for that business idea. If you meet investors, you will get funding to get your dream, to get it to work. So that's what we're going to be doing. Thank you very much. Next question, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bemi Famino. I write for Business Day Media. So, good afternoon, ma. So please, after all that has been said and done, what will be the mechanism to monitor the beneficiaries after the program?
I'm sorry, your mask, I didn't quite get your question.
I said, what will be the mechanism to monitor the beneficiaries after the program?
Okay.
So,
So,
how would you use the feedback going forward?
okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that. So, post the program, so the thing is that once these women finish, they'll be inducted into our alumni community. Once they are in the Flourish Africa alumni community, they'll be categorized into groups. And we'll have like mentoring and support groups that will focus on them sector-based. So that's why we said it's hand-holding. These women are part of us, they are part of our community. So we're not just training them and they're not leaving. They are being trained and they're going to stay in the system because we want to monitor their progress. We want to be able to tell their own success stories. There was an alarming statistics that I heard during the LSETF conference that just ended. Initially, I think what they said was 7 in 10 businesses survive in Nigeria. But now we have 9 out of 10 businesses who survive after 1 year or 2 years. So that's why it's very important to us, this hand-holding part. So when we start, in the first year, we'll have the alumni communities that will focus, we'll band them together so that they can work together. We'll give them, show them, introduce them to mentors, subject matter experts that they can always ask questions to make sure that these businesses survive or thrive. So our goal is to make sure that we have a higher survival rate than what is currently happening in the market or in the industry. So to build that structure and process for them. Thank you. Does that answer your question?
Olua, I write for Vanguard Media Limited. I have about 2 questions here, but you almost answered the first one in the course of responding to some questions. I needed to ask, after picking your first 100 that qualifies after the pitch, the other 400, what happens to them? Are you going to just do away with them, or?
No, we won't. So I think this is still like our pilot training, but definitely we are putting plans or works in place for them. There are so many, like I said, that women have access to funding. So we are also going to try and show them that access, because part of our goals is also to create market access for these women. So it might be in helping them get buyers for their products or creating markets from them, which the Google training will help in helping them get markets, increase their market share. We're also going to try and help them get funding. I know there are so many, I don't want to start naming companies, but we do know organizations that have loans available for women, so many. So at least they have their business plan. We can come up, show them the direction. This is where you go. Tell us how it went, how much you're able to raise for your business, and how much you're able to get it done. But I think for us, the most important thing, first of all, is to look at these businesses, because we are not really starting with the idea stage women for now. We're looking at startup entrepreneurs. So the thing is that for each applicant that has applied, has done business for at least 1 year, first of all. So you've already tried and tested your idea. It's already working, so we are not going to be drafting anything theoretical in class. You are coming with what you are already doing. If you need to fine-tune, restructure your business, make sure that it's working well, we will help you do that. So once you have a business that has good structure, then from there, let's see how the other metrics work to make sure that the things come out well. But definitely, we are still, these 400 women are part of our community. They are part of us, and we would like to see them grow, so we will be keeping track of them.
Yes,
progress.
thank you. My second question, over time I have come to realize that focus has really been shifted so much to the women. There are so much women empowerment, funding activities here and there. Why are we shifting the focus only to the women? What happens to our young guys that are coming up? That's an aspect of it. Then also, I'm looking at the Women International Day they just finished. Is this a kind of part of it, or thank you?
Okay, thank you. I'll just say thank you. We are happy that this launch is falling in the month of Women's Month. March is known as the Women's Month. We celebrate Mother's Day in March. We do everything we want. For one thing, it was providence. It's a very good coincidence. It was a very good coincidence, but we are happy to be launching this initiative in this month of women. It is not a publicity stunt. The team behind this is very passionate. I wish you could speak to every team member here. They are very, in fact, there's some team members, they say, don't worry, these women will do well. They will succeed. I'm telling you, they are extremely passionate about helping women because we work with women, and our founder has so many organizations. She's a serial entrepreneur. She's someone that we look up to. And we engage from some of her projects that she does. She works with widows, young women, even youths, which even young men and women, and everybody is there. So we feel this pain directly. It's something like it's at our doorstep and we see it every day. So people really we genuinely want it to work. Every member of this team is praying, is working, is designing the product. You can ask our partner, I'm sure she's smiling, because the way I'm even on her case, like, our program is specially designed for women. I said, package is so that if any woman that comes to this program is the superstar. I'm sorry, I'm not being gender biased, because women give birth to men. We need men to survive. We need men to make this partnership work. But now, can we just be a little bit selfish and just focus on ourselves, just a little? I know by the time we do it, it's from the home. Once women are good, their sons are going to be good. We will not start asking these questions in the future because the home is being taken care of. So we are taking care of everybody. So look at it as you are working on the other parts that God created to make this. We've been neglected for some time. I won't say neglected. I will say the times have changed. Technology has evolved. We are just products of evolution, really and truly. I won't really say okay, someone has been left behind, but it has just been evolution. In the 50s, if you read, I saw one economics textbook. I was like, show this book to a young woman now. She's going to be like, so I should wait at home for a man to come and give me money, Abby. I should wait at home. You should go to work. I'll cook food for him. Okay, when he comes, I should massage his leg. Me, uncle, I've been folding clothes this morning. So this generation, they are very different. So we have to bring solutions that work, not solutions that we think are right. So we have to work with them. It's a generation of co-creation. We are co-creating together. This program, we are co-creating. Some things might change next year because it's a time of change and we have to be agile. So we cannot, and now is really the time for women. So we are going to do it and we're going to carry everybody along. So that's it. Everybody is going to be carried along. So thank you. So the youth, everybody.
I'd like to add, one, I'm surprised that it's a woman that's asking that question. Number two, we have listened to, we have experienced, we have been part of. In fact, the men too know that the women have been relegated to the background. When I was starting my speech, I started with the population of women as against that of men. And I also said the reason why women need to be supported to be able to come to a higher level than they are now is because the world economy is dwindling. The world has left almost 50% of those that can help out with pushing the economy forward behind. Why are we looking and we're not doing anything about it? Now we are trying to do something about it so that we can hold hands with our men and make the world a better place for everyone. And now you are complaining. Madam, why are you complaining? Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any more questions?
You have here. The question I'd like to ask really is the seed capital you are giving. What do you expect? Are you expecting payback from? You want the women to pay back whoever is going to get this seed capital? That's one. The second question again is: do we take it that the 1 billion naira fund that's on the table now is part of the CSR initiative of Flourish Africa? It's huge, really. But if you look at the quantum of people who need a lifeline, that's still far off. Maybe you have said you are beginning this initiative. You are looking at in the first 5 years you may want to rejig. Would you be scaling up or scaling down? Maybe just to tell us. Thank you.
Okay, man. Should I go ahead and answer that question? Okay. Okay. So first of all, we're a non-profit. So I think our whole work is it's not a CSR, that is our work. We are a non-profit. Flourish Africa is a non-profit foundation founded to help support women. Number two, this is a grant. And a grant means that we are giving them the money, we are not taking it back. But because we are giving them doesn't mean that they will just take it and disappear. We are going to keep track of them to see how they are doing, how did they invest this money in their business. We want to be able to tell their story. How was this fund able to move you from point A to point B? We understand that the value of the naira is dwindling because of our economy. And to be honest, if you even give me this 1 billion naira today, I might be surprised about how I will blow it. That's just, to be honest, money is insatiable. So we are starting with the 2 million naira maximum grant for each person. And this is seed funding for them to drive their initiative. Some people might just need 500,000 naira to help them get their business bring in monthly revenue of 10 million naira for them. So that's the thing. So we're going to go to their pain points. It might not solve all their problems, but it's going to solve at least the maximum of their problems. We asked the women to send in their video pitches, and we could see and hear what women are going to do, even with these grants. Some women already have an annual turnover of over 20 million, but they are still coming to look for the 2 million naira grants to run their businesses. Because taking care of your expenses is high, even if it's just to pay staff salaries and just know that, okay, this month I have a breather. It's a recurrent expense, but I'm just trying to say that the funding it will meet the need of a lot of people. It will, because they've said it. They've said, this is how I'm going to spend the money. By the time I buy this equipment, I can hire more tailors. I can increase my capacity to deliver. I can export my market. So listening to them speak, like I said, we are listening to the people that we are co-creating. So we are listening to the target audience. We're not just coming up with it in the air. We're listening to what they're saying they want, and we're trying to incorporate this. And I even did a pan view of grants or awards that are even going around locally. You'll be amazed at what people do for 1 million naira, even 5,000 naira giveaway. I'm sorry. But even 5,000 naira giveaway, 2,000 naira giveaway, people do some funny things online. So I think let's appreciate what is being given out there, and we know that it's going to make impact. And hopefully, when we are doing like a 2-year impact report or 5-year impact survey, we'll be able to boldly beat our chest and say, this is where we are, this is what we've done, and this is how far we've gone, and this is how the money has gone. Thank you. Okay, any other questions? Okay, yes, sorry. I didn't answer one question about us scaling up or scaling down. Our prayer is that we're scaling up. We do plan to scale up. This is the first year. Next year, hopefully we'll attract more partnerships. We'll be able to do and impact more people. I will press Google for more. And maybe PwC too, and others. Okay, you're looking at me. We might be asking for more. Definitely, we will be scaling up this initiative. So this is our first year. This is our pilot. But we know that the gaps exist in the environment. It's even one of the SDGs: inequality, women empowerment, poverty alleviation. So we do know that we will definitely be increasing, and we'll be scaling up. So maybe we can now get other people who can say, okay, you've given this woman 2 million, I'll give out the remaining 100 million to finish her business. So hopefully we'll get those kind of partners too. If that will be all, Okay, there's one more person.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anite Edets. I'm with Channels TV. This is you said your pilot phase starts with Lagos and Abuja, and then in the course of the 5 years, you'll be expanding to other parts of the country. So I wanted to ask, I don't know if this question has been asked already. Sorry? Okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask, what's your selection process? First, starting with Lagos, and then before you now extend to other parts of the country.
Okay. So over the course of the years, we are looking at expanding not just across Nigeria, but also across Africa. It's Flourish Africa. So we'll be looking at doing West Africa, then building in Africa. Like our founder rightly said in the beginning, she said charity begins at home. So we want to start at home first. Let's see how, these women have been able to cope with the learning training, and we'll now see how it goes from there. But definitely our reach is Africa. Our dream is Africa. It's not just for Nigeria. So that's it for and not just for Lagos and Abuja. So year one is Lagos and Abuja, but not just Lagos and Abuja. So if okay. Yes. Then the selection process. For the selection process, what we basically did was that we asked women to fill a form online that just looked, and we asked them to send in video pictures. So first of all, we looked at what they were doing, validated if they were real, if they were real people, if they were real women, because we had a lot of men apply, believe you me, some even with female names. But the picture was a man. So we had to do that. I'm telling you, there was even a man that was bold enough to do a video. I was like, wow. But we applaud his effort. So we did that. So the next thing was to see the type of business. We had different, so I tried to understand if this kind of business is scalable. Not all businesses are scalable. So we want to look at, because growth is very important to us, the growth potential of the business. We want to see that the business idea that you're pitching is scalable and that you can make impact. What's important to us is that we want to see that you can employ or recruit more people to grow your businesses. So those are the things that we looked at in terms of the selection. So for the application, we received 13,895 applications for this. It was open between December 13th to January 13th, and we received 13,895 applications. From that, we were able to shortlist. We did a long list of about 1,800 entrepreneurs. We asked those women to submit their video pitches. So some applied, about 740 of them responded with their video pitches. Then from there, we were able to sort out and select our final 500. So we're able to, so that was how it worked. But really, we looked at the type of business, the woman, we verified that it was Lagos or Abuja just for this first year. The next year, because it's fully virtual, next year we are definitely increasing our scope and capacity to do things. Then we'll look at Africa. For this, that was how we selected them. So they went through, they filled forms, they answered questions, filled surveys to make sure that they meet what we are looking for in the kind of women that we want to train. So that's it for the selection process. Okay, so if we are done with the question, we would like to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the signing of the contract with Elo Consulting.